market doesn't reward the fastest thinker. It rewards the trader who can wait long enough to see what no one else is patient enough to watch. Before I take you deeper, let me ask you something powerful. What would you do the moment you sense a big trend forming, hesitate, or strike? Comment your thoughts below. I want you to imagine something with me. It's early morning. The market hasn't taken its first real breath of the day yet. The charts look deceptively quiet, like an ocean before a storm. You're sitting there, coffee cooling beside you, eyes fixed on a single candle forming on your screen. You don't know it yet, but this could be the moment. The moment Jesse Livermore himself used to call the quiet birth of a monster trend. Most traders will miss it. A few lucky ones might catch it by accident, but the rarest breed, the Livermore-style trend catcher, can spot these moments with surgical clarity. And that's exactly what this documentary-style deep dive is about. How do you catch big trends? Fast, without gambling, without chasing, and without losing your mind in the process. Because, let's be honest, every trader has felt that sting. You saw a trend early, but you hesitated. You waited for too much confirmation, or worse, you jumped in too soon, only to watch the market whip you like a rag doll. Livermore understood this better than anyone. He once said, "The big money is not in the individual fluctuations, but in the main movements." And behind that short sentence lies one of the most misunderstood, underutilized, and emotionally difficult truths in trading psychology. Catching a big trend isn't about prediction. It's about emotional positioning. Let me rewind time for a moment. Picture Livermore standing in front of the ticker tape machine, his battlefield, watching numbers flicker like tiny sparks of human fear and greed. He wasn't asking himself, where will the market go tomorrow? He was asking, is the crowd about to wake up to something I can already feel? And this is where our story begins, with the psychology, the silence, the tension before a trend launches. Because modern traders often think trend catching is about algorithms, technical indicators, or lightning speed. But Livermore caught trends differently. His style wasn't mechanical. It wasn't impulsive. It wasn't frantic. It was obsessively observant. He watched behavior, not just prices. He watched the character of the market, not just the chart. And most importantly, he waited not with passivity, but with conviction. So let me tell you something straight. If you want to catch big trends fast, you must slow down internally first. That is the paradox every trader struggles with. Big trends require fast action, but fast action requires deep, patient psychological setup. In my early trading days, I didn't understand this. I used to chase every breakout like a starving wolf. My thinking was simple. If it's moving, I need to be in it. But that wasn't trading. That was emotional desperation, dressed up as strategy. Livermore taught the opposite. He taught us that the market whispers before it screams, that big moves reveal themselves long before they explode, that price action has tone, mood, attitude. If you know how to listen, and that's the essence of this video. The simple steps, Livermore's steps to catching massive trends faster than the crowd, without being reckless. And trust me, these steps are deceptively simple. But the psychology behind them, that's where the real mastery lies. That's where traders either rise or collapse. Because to catch a trend early, you need three things. 1. Clarity, the ability to distinguish real movement from noise. 2. Courage, the emotional strength to act when others doubt. 3. Conviction, the discipline to stay in the trade long enough for the trend to pay you. Most traders can achieve one of these. A few can achieve 2. Almost none can hold all 3 simultaneously. But Livermore could, and that's why he consistently caught the biggest moves. Moves so huge, they became legends. Now, let me pull you into a visual moment. Imagine the S&P begins drifting upward after weeks of indecision. Not breaking out, not surging, just shifting its posture slightly, like a sleeping giant rolling onto its side. Volume ticks up, not dramatically, but meaningfully. Volatility tightens, not dangerously, but intentionally. Leadership stalks the apples, the Amazons, The Teslas start showing subtle strength before the indexes even notice. Most traders ignore this, but Livermore would lean forward. His eyes would narrow. He'd feel the psychological rhythm change. That's what we're after in this script. The ability to sense momentum before it becomes obvious. The ability to act before the crowd panics into action. And the ability to ride the trend long enough to collect the big, slow, patient money. Because big trends don't reward the smartest trader. They reward the most emotionally aligned trader. And that alignment begins now with what I'm about to show you in the next section. But before we continue, I want to hear from you. Have you ever recognized a big trend early, but failed to hold on? Drop your story in the comments. You're not alone. A trader doesn't conquer the market. A trader conquers himself. And only then does the market reveal its biggest gifts. Before I take you into this cinematic final descent, let me ask you directly, if that life-changing trend appeared on your chart tomorrow morning, would you be ready? Comment below with a simple yes or not yet. The room around me dims as I speak this last part, because this is where the story stops being just an analysis and becomes a mirror. A mirror meant for you. In every great trading story, whether it's Livermore, Wyckoff, Darvas, or any modern market hero, there is always a final moment. A moment of absolute clarity, where the trader realizes one truth. Big trends don't change your account first. They change you first. That's the cinematic conclusion we're heading toward. So let me take you into this emotionally grounded, documentary-style final section, where everything you've learned folds into a single, unforgettable message. The final frame. The market is a test of character. I want you to imagine you're standing inside a long, dimly lit hallway, one of those old European corridors where the air feels thick with history. At the end of the hall, there's a door glowing with a faint golden light. Behind that door is the big trend you've been waiting for, the one Livermore called the once-in-a-generation move. But the hallway is filled with obstacles, fear, doubt, hesitation, overt news, noise, your past failures, your future worries, voices of people who never traded a single day in their lives, telling you what they think the market will do. Every trader who has ever caught a massive trend had to walk through this hallway. Livermore walked it alone, and he admitted it often broke him, but he kept going. Because he understood something simple. A big trend doesn't reward your strategy. It rewards your emotional strength. And right now, you're walking the same hallway. The moment of truth. Standing at the door. Let me give you a visual you'll never forget. Picture Livermore sitting in his trading room in 1929. Everyone around him is panicking. Crowds outside brokerage houses are screaming. People are fainting on the sidewalks. The ticker tape machine can't keep up. And yet, Livermore sits there completely still. Not calm still. There's a difference. Calmness is the absence of emotion. Stillness is the mastery of emotion. And that stillness is what allowed him to hold the biggest short position of his life. That stillness let him capture the trend that would go down as the greatest trade in stock market history. He once wrote, "After spending many years in Wall Street and after making and losing millions of dollars, I want to tell you this. It was never my thinking that made the big money for MIT, was always my sitting." That line, that one line, is the golden key behind the glowing door at the end of the hallway. And now, it's your turn to stand at that door. The real ending, not the market, but you. Here's the cinematic twist. This documentary script, this journey, this Livermore-style deep dive was never really about catching big trends fast. It was about becoming the trader who can handle a big trend. Because most traders catch a big move at some point, but almost none can hold it. They exit too early. They panic too soon. They take quick profits out of fear of losing them. They don't trust the setup. Or worst, they don't trust themselves. Livermore said the market is a cruel teacher, but I think he meant it in a different way. The cruelty is not in the market's movement. The cruelty is in what the market reveals about us. Your doubts, your insecurities, your rushed decisions, your unhealed trading trauma, your fear of repeating old mistakes. But when you face all that, when you become still like Livermore, the door opens, and behind it is the trend that changes everything. The cinematic fade-out. Your journey begins now. As the metaphorical hallway lights fade, and the golden door closes softly behind this final narration. I want you to feel something powerful. You don't have to catch every trend. You just have to be prepared when the right one comes. The trend that aligns with your rules, your patience, your clarity, your discipline, your emotional evolution. Because big trends don't show up for impulsive traders. They show up for prepared traders. And now, because you've walked this entire journey with me, you are closer to that level of preparedness than you've ever been. This is your moment of clarity, your cinematic turning point, your Livermore lesson, your reset. Take it with you. Let it evolve you. Let it shape your next trade. And when that next big trend appears, when price whispers before it screams, you'll be ready. Tell me, this after hearing this final section, what is the one emotional habit you know you must change to catch your next big trend? Comment below. Your next breakthrough begins with your answer. Keep your mind sharp, your emotions disciplined, and your conviction because the market may move slowly, but opportunity moves fast, and the next big trend is already forming while you listen to this.